Arazo Kampaja. I'm barely 1.5 weeks here in the office, and we are still studying the situation. But be that as it is, I believe we need to let you know precisely what we will be doing here in the ministry, and then areas of focus for which we expect you to assist us if we must be able to move the region forward. You recall that this ministry was created in 2008, and it only came to perform its function in 2009. That was when it started the operation. And the ministry has a mandate to coordinate and mobilize both domestic and international assistance in resolving some of the problems we have in the Niger Delta. And good of it is that you are from the international community, and we believe that your intervention in some of the areas will tremendously help us in the Niger Delta to overcome some of the problems. At least, apart from that, we also have a vision to serve as the primary vehicle to execute government's plans. You know, the federal government has a number of plans for the Niger Delta, and as a ministry, we are charged with the responsibility to execute such plans and programs for the purpose of developing the region, both economically and otherwise.
And we have invested already in the past in the region. Some of you may be aware we were supporting the Niger Delta Dialogue in the past. We were also investing in some of the micro projects that have also made a difference at community level. Some of those infrastructure, I'm told that they're still there and they're still being used by those communities' basic infrastructures. And I think we are proud of those investments. And of course, we know that the challenges remain.
The ministry, we have on ground so many projects and programs that are going on, and perhaps we can just let you have them briefly. For instance, in terms of infrastructural development, we have both road construction and rehabilitation, provision of jetties, supply of water, and provision of electricity, construction of housing estates and skill acquisition centers. All these things are on ground, which of course we believe that if they are fully funded and they are expanded, they will also help to checkmate some of the restiveness in the area. Because it is when you have restiveness that insecurity grows, and that will also prevent the production of more oil for the development of the country. Then environment, you know, it's an area that has been highly degraded in terms of oil production and the rest of them. We also have on ground the construction of inland waterways, because that area is very prone to erosion. Now that the Lagdo Dam has been opened, it is the Niger Delta that will suffer the bulk of the problem, because by the time it gets to that area, so many houses would have been taken over. And the only way by which this problem can be settled is through the construction of inland waterways, canals, and all what have you, maybe reclamation of land and the rest of them. So, and if we are not proactive in doing all these things, then every year we begin to experience one form of flooding problem or the other that keep people agonizing. So we believe with international agency like you, if there are some areas you can come to our aid, we'll be very, very much impressed.
And of course, as you were also reminding us, Honourable Minister, the consequences of that theft or loss of resources is also complicating and exacerbating even further some of the challenges in terms of environmental and health consequences for the population. I'm told that the air quality also in the region is extremely bad and getting worse, and that's also having a huge impact on the health of many communities. The erosion, as you mentioned, and the fact that the levels of the sea are also increasing. Some of the environmental, the natural protection, the mangroves also under stress because of the environmental degradation. So I think we need to look holistically at how we can address some of those challenges, and I think our presence here today is also to start a conversation to understand better how your ministry, how the new administration want to address those challenges, and then how the European Union can accompany, can complement your own efforts.
There are a lot of development initiatives in the Niger Delta. Some that have been initiated by the NDDC, some by the ministry, and some by other previous agencies. I think we're in the process of getting them properly harmonized into one document. And we believe too, in doing that too, we also need your technical advice and input to see that such development plans are properly harmonized in such a way that when you take the book, you will now see where we are headed to. And we will need your cooperation in this very regard. We also have something that has to do with community development, education, economic empowerment, and human capital. And this also involves a lot of training of our youths, our women, and also having skill acquisition centers. I'm sure from the EU, if we can boast of having at least one very good skill acquisition center in our various states, that will help to take so many of our youths from the roads, and that will solve the problem of insecurity that has been endemic in the region. So that also brings me to peace and security, which is the main focus of any government in Niger Delta. Because in the absence of peace and security in Niger Delta, it appears the economy of the nation will be shaky. And we saw it even before the establishment of this ministry and other agencies. You discovered that the Niger Delta area was very much prone to insecurity. But I think gradually things are getting better. That's why even in terms of oil production and the surveillance team that are helping to make sure that the thievery and the rest of them are reduced, we are now going higher in terms of production of oil in that region. So peace and security, in terms of peace and security, you know what is required. We also need support in this area because like vehicles, security gadgets and the rest of them that will help to track most of these areas that are prone to insecurity, because modern day technology does not require you just to go and visit the place before you know how to help to solve the problem of insecurity in the area.
As the Honourable Minister was reminding us, there can be no development without security. And I think that's one of the areas where we really would like to discuss with you and to understand better with you how we can work together to address some of those challenges. And I will come back to that in a minute, because we are already thinking of putting in place some interventions to address some of those challenges. I think my presence here today, and as I said, Ambassador Isopi will also like to come and see you and eventually even visit the region, so we understand firsthand and we can see with our own eyes some of the challenges that the population are facing. I think we are very much in line. It's a common objective to address the poverty challenges and to provide alternative livelihoods for the population of Nigeria in general, but in particular of the Niger Delta. It's, I think, quite a paradox that the region that produces most of the richness of the value of Nigeria still suffers from some of those difficulties, and I understand that, of course, particularly for young people, the lack of opportunities is a challenge and may also lead them to activities that also affect those same sources of wealth for the region. And I think in a recent visit by the government authorities, we were reminded of the volume, the magnitude of the problem. 400,000 barrels of oil gone missing daily out of a production of 2 million. I mean, it's the huge impact. These organizations are long-standing organizations that have been working in the region for long, well known, I think, to most of you. And we are mobilizing 6.5 million euro. I don't want to tell you how much that is in Naira, because you know the exchange rate. It has been subject to changes and it keeps fluctuating. But if you consider, roughly 900 or 950 Naira per euro, you can easily do the mathematics. It's a massive investment. And we're really looking at working with communities, having a community center approach to try to transform criminality and violence in the Niger Delta into opportunities. So that very much matches with your vision, Honorable Minister, on working with youth, working with the communities at grassroots level to address some of the insecurity, some of the criminality challenges, and provide them with alternative livelihoods as we move forward.
Once again, let me formally welcome you to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development. And like I said, it's no more Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, but it has to be Ministry of Niger Delta Development. That has to be that it encompasses the development. So the focus of this administration is how to get the Niger Delta developed. And you know that for development to take place, we first of all focus on infrastructure and how to bring about peace and security of the area. So once again, let me welcome you and let me appreciate you for this very important visit, and hope that even through you to other important international organizations, we can have access to some of these requests, and believing that those that cannot be fulfilled directly from your European Union, you also have the reach to help us to intervene in other areas. Once again, thank you and welcome to the ministry. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll continue the discussion with your